There is no way that just happened to the New York Mets. Pete Alonso hits an amazing home run, and they are off to face a division rival in the NLDS in the Philadelphia Phillies. All bets are off right now. They have as good a chance as anybody in Major League Baseball to shock the world and win the World Series. So I'll break that down and much more in this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down that amazing Game 3 win by the New York Mets. And before we preview the NLDS and the ALDS that is about to get underway starting on Saturday, I want to let you know that around 97% of you who are watching these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead, hit that sub button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a ton. So, guys, yesterday we witnessed the New York Mets season in like in a microcosm, I guess. Like that was the microcosm of the Mets season yesterday. They're down and out. Everyone thinks they're done. They're gonna give up, and no, they don't. This happens. The biggest home run of Pete Alonso's career saved New York's season and sends the Mets to an NLDS matchup against Philadelphia. Milwaukee was 2 outs away from advancing, a crushing heartbreak. The Mets' thrilling postseason run continues at the bank. Now, I mean, the Brewers did everything that they had to do. You know, they were pitching well leading into that. They were shutting down the Mets, and the Mets just seemed like they weren't going to be able to get anything going. And that ninth inning, that ninth inning allowed them to prevail. Pete Alonso of the Mets is the first player in MLB history to hit a go-ahead home run while trailing in the ninth inning or later of a winner-take-all postseason game. That is a pretty ridiculous stat considering how many years baseball has been around, and the fact that Pete Alonso, a guy who was really kind of maligned amongst the New York Mets fan base, the fact that he was the one to get the big hit there and send his team through, good on him, you know. And there was talk of him getting traded at the deadline, getting traded in the off season, but it seems like he wants to be a New York Met, and why would they not keep him around as well? Because they're playing exceptional baseball, and they've been one of the best stories in the league all year long. And this was the win probability from yesterday. You could see it was a pretty steady stream, 50-50 all the way out. But you get to the bottom of the seventh, the Brewers take a lead, and that should be it, right? Devin Williams coming into the game in the ninth inning to close it out. Everything is lining up perfectly for the Milwaukee Brewers to move on and face the Philadelphia Phillies until Pete Alonso happened, until he steps in and says, no, 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 not so fast. We're coming in here and we're going to take what is rightfully ours. And the New York Mets are the 10th team to defeat the Milwaukee Brewers in the postseason. The previous 9 all reached the World Series. So maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that the New York Mets are a team of destiny while also having one of the highest payrolls in baseball. Those two things can be entirely true. They've traded away some assets. They have spent a lot of money, but for the majority of the season, they've been relying on guys like Mark Vientos, like um, you know, Luis Angel Acuna coming up towards the end of the year. Luis Severino, sort of a reclamation project. He's been their ace all season long. Like they've gotten contributions from guys that maybe they weren't expecting to be as good as they were this year, and that's why I think they're an easy team to root for. I don't think they're going to go all the way. I don't know if they can go all the way. I think they definitely can. Just because of the way that the postseason works. You never know what's going to happen. We saw the Tigers with a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. They beat the Houston Astros in the wild card round. So you just don't know what playoff baseball has in store for you. And I think that's why the Mets are sort of playing with house money right now. They want to win and they're trying to win. They're doing whatever they can to do that. But at the same time, they got to remember where they were at the start of the year. And then you had fans turning on them. You had no one believing, and now you're at the point where you could say there's a shot. we have a chance to upset a division rival in Philadelphia. And as I mentioned in the introduction here, all bets are off once you get to that point. Once you are playing a division rival in the playoffs, you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's giving a lot of hope. A lot of hope to the Mets fans, to the Mets players, and the way that they've been playing. The fact that they've played 5 games in the past 4 days here, they're gonna get a much needed day off today, but they they've gone through the gauntlet here. They had to play a doubleheader the day before the playoffs against against the Atlanta Braves. They had to play the only 3 game series of the wild card round, so everything has been stacked against them so far. Not really many people gave them a chance yesterday in game 3, but what do? They don't care. They just keep balling. They just keep playing. And Pete Alonso, the guy that has gotten the most crap from the New York Mets fan base, he's the one that comes up with the big hit, which is nice to see. It's sort of poetic justice. Mets fans are crazy, but if you're doing great, they're going to rally behind you. I'm sure you all know Frank the Tank. He came out with a video last night, said, "I want Pete Alonso gone. He is useless," saying stuff of that nature. And then Pete Alonso goes ahead and pretty much makes his entire year. So it just shows you how fickle a fan base can be. But at the same time, no one gets it rocking quite like Mets fans and Padre fans as well. Shout out to the Padre fans. Philly fans are crazy. I mean, there are so many great fan bases around Major League Baseball, and the New York Mets are one of them. And I'm glad that they're going to get to experience this. I don't know how the series is going to go against the Phillies. I expect them to lose. But at the same time, I expected them to lose against the Brewers as well. So who knows? When you got magic on your side like they did last night, all you need is that one break, kind of like Pete Alonso had last night. And that could propel you into heights that you haven't experienced in a very long time. You just don't know. And that's what makes playoff baseball so amazing. That's what makes it everything that fans could hope for. And it's been an amazing start to the postseason thus far. We've seen some great games, we've seen some not so great games, we've seen some surprises, and we've seen some things that we expected. So who knows? Who knows what the divisional series is going to bring, but I expect some fireworks. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Shout out to the Mets, man. I can't believe they are where they are, but they're just continuously growing as a team, and it's very impressive to see. So shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for making it this far. Again, make sure to hit that sub button. We're very close to my goal of 1,500 subscribers. And thank you to Baseball Town as well for sponsoring this video. Would not be possible without them. So check them out today. They're your one-stop shop for everything baseball or softball related. They got 3 locations in Canada, and if you're not in Canada, you can check out their website, baseballtown.ca. The best equipment at the most competitive prices. So check them out today, and I'll see you all tomorrow.